Happy Saturday and welcome to the Ramashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you will learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Shivangi and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I would like to give you a brief overview to this Satsang session. If you'll direct your attention to the screen, you will see that the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our lives. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin this practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. While we meditate, our consciousness is drawn from worldly objects and directed inward to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, leading us to higher states of consciousness such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of satsangs, inner satsang and outer satsang. An example of outer satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but it is only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. This is the type of satsang we will learn today, where we meditate in silence. Group sessions. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but it is only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy that we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Next, the agenda for today's session consists of three parts: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a satsang topic, our founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, instructions on how to meditate will be given, followed by a brief period of practice. During the interactive session, you will have the opportunity to ask questions or there will be panel discussion. And now, I would like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. He is the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ramashram Satsang Mathura. He was born into a satsang family where he witnessed his family members obtaining states of enlightenment and live lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with a mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. During that time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. Upon arriving in the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangis. He has led teams of satsang members in translating important satsang literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more accessible to Western and English speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England, facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of satsang as taught by our Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
Thank you, Shivangi. Happy Saturday, everyone. Glad that we are here in Satsang. Today, I think a very personal topic. I woke up and I thought about, unblocking. Just unblock. And that kind of, been growing. That thought kind of went in multiple ways. Is it unblocking of energies? Is it, personally, I always feel that there are challenges that we face every day on various fronts, but it's not just the challenge. How we tackle that is also depends on what kind of mental blocks we have. Um, and, you know, I mean, I can define what I call mental blocks, but hopefully everybody gets that after the session, after the meditation, we can go into that. So there was, a discourse that my father gave on the title of that was in the book that came out was Aage Badho, which is move forward. And you move forward when you unblock something. Um, and I won't go into the whole story there, but basically a man, met with a sage one day and he said, like, move forward. And he thought about that, like, what does that mean? And basically, he tried a little harder, went to the next step, few days, few months later, thought about it again, went a little further. And, so that's the process that applies to so many things. Just, I have talked about 5 spiritual realms and how we uh, kind of cross these. And every time you cross one realm to another, um, it's like you have to lose something you already have to move, even if it's a higher state. Um, and there is always a internal challenge in terms of the change, in terms of the taking that step, in terms of uh, you know um, welcoming the next step, because it doesn't come naturally to us. Any change, we resist change, and we that resistance is that what we need to unblock. Um, and sometimes, or most of the time, um, you know, the blocks may not necessarily be very obvious or very cleanly in sight. So, I was reading somewhere that so there was a small stream that used to go through a village, and the villagers, it just kind of dried up one day, and they said, like, that, what happened here? And then one day, one of them traveled upstream and found that river was actually still flowing. The water was still flowing, but there was a huge tree that had fallen um, across a narrow bend, and that's why that stream was not flowing. So the water was there, but it was obstructed. So similarly, you know, you um, so it's not that the energy is absent, but it could be that something is blocking it. And moving the blocks is basically spiritual progress if you really think about it. Um, you know, it's one of my conversations with my mother. So I was very upset and felt very stuck and all that. And she said, "Hey, it's just clouds. They will disappear." And it took a long while. Those clouds were there for a while. But when I was thinking about that conversation, what I felt was that think of sun, which is, so powerful, you know, so strong source of energy. And clouds are very fleeting, very temporary, but they can block that energy to flow. So, peace, clarity, joy, light, love, all could be flowing, within our heart, but things that block, unresolved hurt, mental rigidity, which comes in many forms. Personally, know that the need to control outcomes. So the mind blocks, the heart releases. Sometimes it's like I'm willing to let go. Sometimes it is just that we have to focus and concentrate and identify that block. And believe it or not, in satsang, through meditation and through meeting with people who are at higher states, just, effortlessly you could unblock yourself. And that was the thought for today. And there is no better way to just practice, and let the energy be received, stored, this connection. So it's, and we have talked about this several times. It's attention, focus, concentration, orientation, receiving, storage. But all of these things can be blocked, right? So unblocking is the topic for today. Let's unblock our energies, unblock ourselves, and just let it flow. Let the negativity go. So on that note, let's practice that. Think of this conscious and powerful and positive source of energy right here, right now. So right in front of us. And that transcendental energy in form of light is entering our heart. And this heart is like completely and totally getting, filled with this light, with this energy. And so much so that, it just flows outwards from there to every part of our body, and we're getting completely and totally immersed in this energy. We're becoming this energy. We're becoming this light. And we are, and no resistance anywhere, completely and totally unblocked. So again, first, eyes lightly closed because the sensory input is distracting us. We want to concentrate our mind on one thought and one thought alone. And that thought is of this transcendental light, which is coming into our heart, enlightening it, then distributing throughout our body. And we're getting completely and totally immersed in it. So every time, our thought goes anywhere else, we just bring it back to this thought, this observation alone. Nothing else to be done at this point. We can do things before, after, right now. We want to be with the light. We want to become the light. We want to just let all the resistance, all the blockage go away through the force and power of this energy itself. Sit in a still and relaxed posture, because that's important as well, because every time the body moves, mind moves with it. Any strain in the body takes that tension away and becomes another blockage. So eyes lightly closed, still and relaxed posture. Think of this source of conscious source of this transcendental energy in form of light. And this light is coming into our heart and distributing throughout our body. And we are becoming one with this light. We'll start with music that helps concentration, and then music fades away and we go into deep silent meditation on this transcendental light. And we'll transition out with music again. Let's start. A happy Saturday, everyone. I'm glad that we are here in Satsang. I wanted to say that, this is your time. And um, basically, if I think about the process, just 15 minutes of meditation requires 1 hour for us to be here because, you know, how you go into meditation matters, and in the sense that transition in, how you switch from wherever you were into a deep meditation. So, my grandfather definitely packaged this in a way that we can have that 15 minutes of deep, deep meditation. And post meditation, and I think I'll be repeating it, but you know, I think one of the advice I saw in a on meditation was, let's not hurry into it or hurry out of it, because especially after meditation, it's time to absorb what you embodied. So the energy that you right now have, you know, um, it's a better state, it's a quieter state, it's a higher state, I think ought to be. And, let's make the best of it. So at this point, also, it's a small community, so we should be comfortable with each other. So speak up, put your video on, audio when needed, share thoughts, questions, comments, anything that you like. Um, and yeah, unblock the resistance. I think that's the key. Um, but no pressure.
Hi.
Hello, hello. Thank you, Dayal, for being somebody who said, like, yes, I I get this.
Yeah, I know it can be hard on Zoom, a faceless Zoom, but yeah, thank you for this. This is my first time, so I'm just very new to all of this, and so I think been interested in meditation and satsang for quite some time, but tried many times, and I think main thing wanted to share that it's difficult to keep the mind at rest. It's
Yeah, join the club. Join the club.
yeah, I know, which is
It's
kind of the whole point of the whole exercise, I imagine, but just trying to keep coming back to the focus. And I really like the metaphor you had around the water and the tree. And so just trying to think about that and bringing back this focus on light in and light out. So, but yeah, I realize I'm going to need a lot of practice to get there.
we all do. Practice is the key. I mean, it's I think I have written a Substack post, and I was reading up on my grandfather's writings, and uh, about the Agya chakra, which is between the eyebrows, and the heart chakra. So the heart center. So my grandfather said, focus on the heart. And um, and then people questioned him, and he has a book which is like more like a, in today's world, it's like FAQs, and 3 questions on that topic. And basically he kind of said that it's easier, and he actually agrees. It's easier to concentrate on the third eye center, and it's faster growth, and you even see more light, more sounds. You observe the growth, and he says, "Hey, what'll happen then? If you're moving faster, if you're seeing growth, the easiest thing that comes along is the ego." And in all his writings, again and again, as a young person, when I used to read his books, he wrote extensively in Hindi, and every now and then he talks about ego in this context, ego in that context, ego here, ego there. And basically, again, he mentions in this context that faster growth and knowing that you're getting to higher states is, I mean, one way or the other, fuel your ego. So unlike that, in the heart center, it's actually harder, and it actually brings humility and almost like devotion and all those things which matter more for a sustained practice and for a sustained higher state. And actually, I mean, if I go out on a limb and say that I have seen that in person with people that I respect in this practice, very, very true. Very open to, just anyone, very sustaining higher states, ability to share that abundant, love, light, and, peace. Like, so that all happens when you, and being humble is sometimes, you need to be stronger to be humble. You need to be very strong to be nonviolent. Just telling you, it's like, so glad that you're here, and we meet every Saturday at the same time, and it's open. It's a family. Come when you can.
Okay.
And
thank you.
practice, as we were discussing, helps. Practice. But I always say, and my own experience has been that, group energy and the collective energy and the, it's far more than what it appears.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, this will be an interesting exercise as the mind goes in a lot of in positive ways too. I was just thinking
No, but I'll tell you this, we live in a world where silence, concentration, focus, meditation is, it's a minority. So you are in a minority community that way. But it pays well. It's I am actually starting a 360-degree wellness podcast, and I'll talk about everything else, neuroscience and everything that is pointing out that mindfulness and meditation has far more advantages than you can, count. It's a ancient practice, which I don't know why we don't practice more. I'm telling you, I mean, I have been fortunate to be born in a family where this is, second nature. And I'm telling you, I mean, if you see the results, it's like I absolutely and totally wonder why. It's like why such smart people, wise people, they say, and I have heard so many things. I mean, that's for another day, but oh, I statements which was like, wow, that is incredible. But yeah, again, we are creatures of habit. So it takes for you to build a new habit, I would say at least a few weeks. But that is why, so that is a good segue to sell my course. Now, so what I realized after running this workshop for years is that what I'm really asking people to do or want to help people or guide people to is to build a practice. So it will be better to have a longer period of engagement. So I'm starting a 1 week course and a 5 week course. So the 5 week course is what I really started with. And then I said, like, how many people will sign up for that?
Right. Right.
Right? For obvious.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, I mean, it'll take at least 3 weeks of practice. Or
if I may just ask one question, because I did find myself in the meditation focusing on the third eye, and just how do you redirect to kind of the heart, the focus there? Yeah.
So somebody just said that if you sit like this and chin a little inwards, like you're, kind of looking at your heart, that's one small tip. But I think, see what happens, and I'll be candid here. A lot of people come here, they have done like breathing practices and breath work and all that, and they naturally tend to do that. That is why part of the instruction is like, hey, for these 15 minutes, please don't, you can do it before, do it after, but because see what you have, it's hard. So what comes naturally to you, you will go towards that. I mean, my view is don't fight too much, because even, concentrating on your third eye chakra or Agya chakra, that's good. But long term, I think heart center is the way to go. So if you're able to concentrate initially with that, hey, it's better than not meditating or not focusing at all. Yeah.
Right.
But good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you. Hey,
Thank
Christy,
you.
how are you?
Hello. I'm okay, thank you. Hi, Dale. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
I just wanted to intercept a little, if I may,
Sure.
because when I first joined, I've been working on breathwork meditation for 15, 16 years. So that's what came natural to me. But what I've learned here is you don't focus on the breath, you focus on the light. So if I'm struggling with monkey mind in the music part before we start, I might do a little bit of breath work just to get me into it. But with that breath, I'll focus on the light going down to my heart. And that gets you already connecting to the heart before we go into the deep meditation. So maybe just give that a go while you're beginning. And then you might just then drop the breath work as you progress on and just focus on the light going down to your heart. So see how that goes. But it does take practice. It really does. And I don't know if you have YouTube, but all these sessions go onto YouTube. So
Mm.
every day I'll go on and I'll use the music and the silence and the music just to keep me practicing. So that really does help.
Oh,
So
great.
that's just
Thank you
like
for
my
sharing
little
that.
tips for you, but it did really help me because I've been very breathwork based my whole life. So it was a
I see.
challenge.
No, and thanks, Christy,
That's okay.
for the what you just said. Absolutely agree, and I think you and I have talked about like having sessions where we could actually do mindfulness or breath work up front and then get into this and so on and so forth. So yeah.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
You're welcome. I hope that it helps.
Mhm.
And Sanjeev, when it comes to the energy block, I think I realized today when you were speaking that I do still have something that I'm holding on to when it comes to family matters.
Yeah.
It still needs some work, but I feel like I chipped away at it a little bit today. So thank you for bringing that up. Because as you know, I saw my brothers yesterday and it did bring some things up. So this was very much needed.
True, true, true. For most of us, if we don't have any block left, then we will call that enlightenment, I guess. It's like,
Yep.
so we all are blocked in one way or the other, um, and sometimes I feel that it just becomes, you realize and you want to, break through, and that's when, my grandfather used to write, like, and he's written about what in Sufi terms is called tawazzeh. It's attention, connection, but his view was like pull the energy, pull as much energy, because there is, the cosmic energy is like phenomenal. There's plenty of energy. It's just that we need to pull that energy and, get charged up. So not only embody the energy, but you need to feel that that energy is making the change. So the mental blocks can go away that way.
Yeah, because it was like I was trying to work out what do I need to do to let this go? Do I need to give it compassion, forgiveness, all of it? Do I need to just knock it out with light? And it's probably all of the above, but it can get a little bit overwhelming when you don't quite know how to just break it down. So, yeah, it takes work, and I'm not quite sure how to go about it.
See, I think it is, once you realize, and have kind of defined the problem, and they say like defining the problem right is 50% of the solution.
Yeah, yeah, they do say
I
that.
would, I would, um, it's like I wouldn't want to, like, as they say, like meditate on it, but
Mm,
I would go into the meditation thinking about it. So, while in meditation, I want to be far away from all that and just, focus on what I'm meditating on. But before getting into it, I could say my intent is that these blocks, be removed through the process of my meditation. And when the intent is there, it does work.
thank you. I try to just, in the music section, like I said earlier, just fill up my heart with light and kind of wrap the inside with it and just settle with that. And then when we were in the deep meditation where it was silent, I didn't focus in my head on the problem.
So, just one other clarification here is that the reason I say that I don't want to like literally meditate on it, because see, the process of meditating is like essentially getting to a higher state.
Mhm.
So the minutia gets, left behind. And most of these mental blocks are things that should be left behind. And that's, it's not that you consciously let go, it's just through the process, it will go.
Yeah, just that feeling in your heart, just
Yeah.
because I think, like you were saying earlier, when you focus on, it's the ajna, isn't it? The third eye, ajna.
Agya,
So,
Chakra, yeah.
okay. So, but if we focus on our heart, then everything here should be more clear anyway, because it all starts here. So, I think that's where so many people get caught up. Oh, we must be on the third eye, clear the third eye. But this is where our souls, I think, feel and where all the problems lie, not here. So it's just clearing it up here and not holding on. Am I correct or am I wrong there?
I think.
Your face, I can't make out what you think.
No, let's, it's knowledge unfolds, and part of what you're describing makes sense. But see, I feel that it becomes crystal clear when you experience it, not when we talk about it.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Thank you.
So I don't mean to, say anything else. All I'm saying is that what we agree or disagree is not the point. The point is that we internalize it and experience it.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. I'll stop talking now and let other people come forward.
Yeah, we are on the top of the hour, but yeah, a few more minutes, you can stick around.
Thank you very much. I'm going to sign off, but yeah, this is somewhat fortunate because I used to, just a quick aside, I played basketball. I'm in the West Coast, so I play basketball every Saturday morning at this time. So I've been meaning to come, but haven't been able to. But now that is the gym we were going to now has some new regulations, so they can't host us. So this time slot is now opened up. So I've taken the opportunity to redirect my energies from something very active to very active in a different way. So, but I'm glad this opportunity has presented itself. I continue to intend on continuing.
I'm glad that you're here, and definitely that will resolve as well. And and actually yesterday somebody said that for the West Coast, this time is not necessarily the best, and even for a couple other people, but you have to pick some, and some time. Maybe I should open up maybe another time as well. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, from my perspective, this is a great time. Yeah, no, early is good. So I appreciate it. So thank you. And yeah, I'll keep an eye out. But I assume, is this every Saturday, or
yeah,
I saw
every
Saturday,
same time, same link.
Beautiful.
Yeah, whenever you can, please. Yeah, glad to meet you. And
likewise.
Yeah, I'll be in Bay Area hopefully sometime soon, in a couple of months, I guess.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, hopefully we can meet up then.
Sure.
Okay. Great. Thank you. All right. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
So, Biju, Wafame.
Thank you again for this great session. And yeah, it's It is getting into the flow of the meditation. It is a nice analogy that you gave about the tree and the obstacle. Uh, did you have you spoke about the 1 week and the 5 week sessions. Do you have it posted somewhere? What do you plan to cover in those, and when do you plan to have them?
Yeah. How about actually, I'll send it out to everyone. I was just working on that. Most probably, I'll start something mid-month, like around 15th. Shivratri is also there. So um, it's, for people who are joining the workshop, I think you're comfortable, this workshop is as anything, you know, would be. But I think what I'm planning to do here is, if you want to understand a few concepts, so I'll list those out and send it out. But more than that, just something you can share with other people where they could come in and see practice for a week and how that helps. But in these workshops, I have talked about the 5 realms. So talk about that. Significance of silence. I start with then the 3 energies: the sattva, tam, the positive, negative, and the blend. I talk about that because those energies affect our meditation, and then we feel like, oh, I'm going this way, sideways, or sliding downwards. But at the end of the day, practice, 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 because you have to cut through all of that. So talk about that. I also so it's like 1 video per week for 7 days, and I'll put them in a cohort, in a community. So I want to all of us into a community where we can exchange notes on a more regular basis as well. So I have talked about, like, one of the slides that comes up, like inward orientation, concentration, meditation, heart consciousness. Those are the 4 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. But then there are other 4. So I call these 4 like inner yoga, and the rest is yam, niyam, asana, and pranayam, which is more outer yoga. But so the inner yoga is focus of satsang, and if you focus on this, the others will be covered in a slightly different way. So all that, right? And then worry and anxiety. How does worry and anxiety? So that was one of my talks. I just kind of converted that into the video where, how worry and anxiety you tackle through meditations. So it's like we have talked about all of that here, but it's like in pieces and parts. There, it's like more focused and structured.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll send that out. Just test drive it. Awesome. Okay. So anything else before we wrap up, Arvindji?
Blessed to join. All I can say is we're fortunate to join. It was absolutely blissful satsang. Absolutely blissful, amazing. So there's no words that I guess that can describe the peace that Guru Maharaj's grace brings. And I believe there's nothing like this satsang, at least from in my humble experience. There's nothing like this. There's mindfulness, and there's a whole bunch of breath work, and there's a whole bunch of other modes of meditation. But the energy that comes through Guru Maharaj's grace is, there's no words to describe it. So Thank you for bringing that to us.
This is definitely effective. Yeah. So Wafame, good to see you. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing very well. I just wanted to say I really appreciated this group session again. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it on the Saturday. I also really, the whole grounding in the beginning of focusing on unblocking the resistance. It's been a very still week here in Virginia with the snow. And I'm an educator, so we haven't had school. So usually my days are filled with a lot of chaos and just a lot of young voices having a lot to say. So this week has been a little bit out of the ordinary for me. So I've been appreciating that stillness, but I think that final piece of unblocking that resistance was so important for me going into the weekend and starting a new week ahead. So thank you and namaste to everybody, and great to be in collective community with you all.
Thank you so much to be here. And yeah, I think the time sometimes, doesn't suit, and but hopefully we'll have we'll figure out if we can maybe start another workshop, which is slightly better, but better for some and then better. So that's quite a interesting task to figure out what will suit everyone. But yeah, come whenever you can. I mean, this is great to have you here. So Taru, AC, Jeff, and everyone else. So yeah, love, light, and peace be with you. Great. Yeah, just feeling great actually today. Amazing. Namaskar. Thank you.
Namaskar ji.
Namaskar, Geeta. Namaskar. Omkar, Mahima ji,
Namaskar भैया.
Biju,
सबको
Bapame, Mini, Namaskar. Arvind ji,
Pranam Chaudhary.
Poonam ji, Namaskar. Namaskar. Christy, AC, Pooja, Jeff, Paula, Sujata ji.
All right,
Pranam
thank
bhaiya.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now. Renu ji, Sangeeta ji, Saru, Bapame. So, all right. So, yeah.
Pranam bhaiya.